This is KGW News at 11.
Tonight at 11, we start with a developing situation along the Willamette River. Search and rescue crews are looking for a teenager who disappeared under the water. This happened just after 5 o'clock near Riverview Park, that's south of Independence. Water rescue crews have been on scene for several hours. We'll keep you updated with more information as we get it. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Adams. This all happened on the hottest day of the year in Portland so far. So we start outside, and it's still in the mid 80s at PDX right now. After a couple of days of topping out at 99, we finally hit 100 degrees today, and things are expected to get even warmer. So let's check in with Ashley Grams, who's been tracking all of this for us tonight. Ashley.
Right, you say it's going to get hotter. That's very true. We're kind of in the midst of this heat wave. We're coming up on 2 more days of temperatures that could reach triple digits. So again, as John said, today we reached 100 degrees. That happened around 5 o'clock here in the Rose City as we take a look outside right now from our Wells Fargo camera. Still warm out there right now. I mean, we're talking about the 11 o'clock hour and it's 85 degrees. So I want to bring your attention to that because we're not going to see temperatures cool down too much tonight. So we're looking at temperatures at 75 degrees in McMinnville, 79 in Salem, still 86 degrees out in the Dalles, 75 in Hood River, 59 degrees in Tillamook. So a little bit more temperate, a little bit more comfortable out there on the coast. I hope you got a chance to get out there and enjoy it. I know so many of you did this 4th of July weekend, but that's going to be the reprieve that you need here the next couple of days as we see this heat wave continue. That's the place we want to be. Newport, here's a live look right now over the boats. Absolutely beautiful. 57 degrees there. I think I'm going to have to make my way there here in the next day or so during my weekend. But this is something new we're doing at KGW. We started it this week, weather impact alert days. And you'll see on our 7-day forecast here, we have 2 days that are still considered weather impact alert days. That's because we are forecasted to see temperatures near 104 degrees. So let's take a look at the next 6 hours, right? We talked about how we're going to be cooling down tonight, but we're certainly not going to be cooling down very far. You can see by the time we get to midnight, 1 a.m., we're still looking at 75 degrees. So if you're still awake at that time, open those windows at your house. Of course, try to get some of that cool air in before we head back into the triple digits tomorrow. This heat wave again lasting all the way until Tuesday. So make sure you drink that water, keep the AC running, check on those who might not have access to those things. Of course, we'll talk more about the records broken today in that 7-day forecast coming up. John.
All right, Ashley, we'll see you a little later in the show. Thank you. Our heat wave caused big delays for MAX riders tonight. When the temperatures get excessive, MAX trains are only able to travel at top speeds of 35 miles an hour. With our temperatures expected to be high, riders can expect delays of 15 to 30 minutes if the trains have to slow down again over the next few days. Multnomah County will reopen its 3 cooling centers tomorrow at noon. They are Cook Plaza in Gresham, the Portland Covenant Church in Northeast Portland, and Congregation Beth Israel downtown. The cooling centers will be open from noon to 10 p.m. The extreme heat is making things more difficult for fire crews in the area. Not only do the hot and dry conditions make fires more likely, but firefighters are at a higher risk of heat exhaustion due to the amount of gear they have to wear. This is video of crews working a fire this afternoon on the 4300 block of Northeast 102nd in Portland. Lieutenant Damon Simmons with Portland Fire and Rescue says they attempt to rotate crew members more frequently when we see this type of heat.
We'll try to bring them out, let them pull off some of those coats, that heavy gear, get cooled down as best we can. We bring in our rehab apparatus. We try to get them in air conditioning if it's available. A lot of times it's not. We just try to shed some of those layers for a short period before they go back to work.
Portland Fire and Rescue also responds to a higher volume of calls when we see extreme heat. They urge people to stay hydrated and to be mindful of where they discard cigarette butts and other items that could easily start fires. This excessive heat can even be stressful for animals, more stressful for animals than people. Our Sydney Dorner spoke with experts on how you can keep your pets and farm animals healthy during this heat wave.
I spoke with animal sanctuaries here in Oregon that already work with animals especially vulnerable to these scorching temperatures we're experiencing right now. They shared some creative ways you can keep your outdoor animals cool by using tools you may already have around the house.
Okay, you guys, ready to come out?
Olga Donvillo grew up in Guatemala, rescuing animals with her father since she was a little girl.
That he found in the jungle or abandoned, and from dogs to monkeys to, you name it. And my mom would take care of them.
Now she takes care of over 100 animals at Kismet Farms in Estacada, Oregon, a sanctuary named after her horse that passed away 10 years ago.
The motto of my sanctuary is a place for second chances, because most of the animals are old, they've been neglected.
Which is why she goes into overdrive during the summer months to prevent them from overheating or becoming dehydrated.
Put a fan at the end of one end of the barn so it blows air out. The chickens, which you'll meet, they have a mister, so that water is always, just kind of getting them cool.
She pays special attention to animals like her pigs, who don't do best in heat, and says it's important they always have access to a shaded spot and a pool of water to cool off in.
Pigs don't like to jump up into the swimming pool, so you have to dig a little bit and get it low so that the pig can get in there. That's the best thing to cool a pig.
Donvillo is a doctor in homeopathic medicine and says when temperatures get close to 100 degrees, she will simply try to keep them inside or find natural ways to boost their hydration.
I put arnica in the water, and I also put something called aloe, homeopathic aloe, in the water. And so basically it's just to change the molecular structure of the water a little bit.
Her friend Kit Collins also runs an animal sanctuary in Estacada called Out to Pasture. The two work together to care for a wide variety of animals who have different needs during the heat, including roosters, cows, donkeys, and even llamas. Collins started taking a more aggressive approach after one of her pigs had a heat stroke.
Sprinklers going on all the chickens and the turkeys that they can go in and out of to stay cool. We've got an air conditioner for the rabbits. We've got them inside a stall. We have an air conditioner for the goats in their stall. They like to go in and out of that. We've got mud holes for the pigs.
Stating the easiest way to keep your animals cool is just by continuously spraying the ground in cold water. Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, if you need a place to cool off, we've got you covered. Just text the keyword HEAT to 503-226-5088. We'll text you a link back with a list of cooling centers, plus fountains and splash pads across our area. We also have an interactive map that shows you all the places to cool down in Multnomah County. Tonight, 3 people are dead after a violent holiday weekend in the Rose City. 4 shootings have happened since Friday. Let's bring in Blair Best, who's live in the newsroom. And Blair, police say the warm weather could have played a role here.
Well, John, it's not uncommon for there to be a spike in shootings during the summer months. That's according to Portland police. And while it's unclear what the motives were in these cases, 3 people died in separate shootings in just over 24 hours. From Old Town to Northeast Portland and the Central East Side, gunshots hit several Portland neighborhoods this weekend, killing 3 people in just over 24 hours.
You gotta be careful out here. At any minute, something could go down.
The first of 4 shootings happened Friday, just before midnight off Northwest 3rd Avenue and Everett Street, in the heart of Old Town.
And there's police blocking off this Cape everywhere, like this whole area, everywhere, all the way down there.
Police say a man was shot and later died in the hospital after doctors tried for hours to save him. The suspect has not been found.
It bothers me.
4 hours later in North Portland, a 16-year-old boy was shot and injured while sitting in a car off North Newman Avenue. Police say his injuries are non-life-threatening. Saturday, just before midnight, this was the scene off Northeast 82nd Avenue and Beach Street. Police say they found a man who was shot and killed in a motel parking lot. No arrests have been made. And early Sunday, around 1 a.m., police say dozens of shots were fired, killing a man in Portland's Central East Side, off Southeast 9th Avenue and Ankeny Street. A 17-year-old boy was also injured. Police say numerous parked cars were hit, and it appears it was a drive-by shooting, targeting a group on the sidewalk.
No arrests were made in that case either.
It's really sad, and I'm sad to hear that that happened on our street. It's terrible. Guns freak me out.
This violent weekend brings Portland's homicide count up to 37 so far this year, compared to 46 this time last year, according to a KGW analysis. And this comes as Portland police are about 2 months into their new plan on preventing summer shootings. Here's Chief Bob Day making that announcement back in May.
We're committed this summer to continue our emphasis around life safety.
Now, as part of that life safety work, police say more officers are on the streets working longer hours this summer, and the city is putting more money toward gun violence prevention. Now, there have been no arrests in any of the shootings that happened over the weekend, so anyone with information is asked to give Portland police a call. John?
All right, Blair, thank you. New tonight, Vancouver detectives believe a man stabbed and killed a woman, then stabbed himself. Details of this one are scarce right now, but Vancouver police tell us this happened just before 8 o'clock tonight on 160th Avenue, just off Mill Plain Boulevard. The suspect was taken to the hospital after officers gave him first aid. His condition is unknown, and he has not yet been identified or charged at this time. Major news involving one of the Northwest's largest employers. The Justice Department says Boeing has agreed to plead guilty to a criminal fraud charge stemming from 2 deadly 737 MAX crashes. Now it's up to a federal judge whether to accept the plea. Prosecutors say Boeing violated a 2021 deal that shielded the company from prosecution. The deal includes Boeing agreeing to an independent monitor and a fine. We spoke with attorney Mark Lindquist tonight, who represents some of the victims' families. Here's what he had to say.
Victim families are going to have a chance to object to this plea agreement in its current form, and we'll see how the judge reacts.
The 2 MAX crashes killed 346 people. The Justice Department says it will file the written plea agreement with the court by July 19th. Coming up next, President Biden hits the campaign trail, what he told campaign staffers in Philadelphia this morning. Plus, it's election day in France, the surprising results and what it means for that country going forward.